Hey friends, it's Rabbi Jenny Solomon here in Raleigh, North Carolina at Beth Meyer Synagogue. I wanted to offer as a mincha moment some words about this particular week that we're in and this particular day of this particular week that we're in the counting of the Omer. So this week is dedicated to the Sphira or the Midah, this soul trait, this divine energetic pool of Yesod. Yesod is often translated as foundation. And when we look at the Sphirot superimposed on the body, the Yesod is really placed in our kind of pelvic girdle, that place of foundation, of stability, of creativity, of generativity. There's so many things that emanate out of that region of our body and, of course, our souls. And Yesod is this integration between the two prior weeks that sort of we might think of on the body as the hips and then outwards into the legs, of Netzach, sustained energetic connection, perseverance, endurance, and Hod, this ability to sort of look and be grateful and accept things as they are. So when those two find balance and synthesis and integration, it's manifested in this quality of Yesod. So I wanted to share a little bit about how I'm thinking about foundation this week. And this particular day, we're invited to consider what Tiferet, compassion, beauty, heart-centered truth looks like in the larger frame of cultivating foundation. So really moving along the center line of the body. For me, when I think about foundation, Yesod, that part of myself that kind of holds up all the rest, that keeps me stable and grounded and centered in my life, I think about love. Not just romantic love, of course, but the experience of love, all kinds of loving connection, of giving that love and receiving that love. And I was listening recently to a workshop given by Tara Moore, who's a sort of master coach in California. And she talked about 3 wells of love and how important it is to dip into these wells, especially in moments when we're feeling unstable and we're moving through uncertainty or challenge. And those 3 wells that she describes are self, so the love that we find emanating and flowing through our own being. Others, looking to others for loving connection and sort of filling up from that source of love. And the third is what she describes as spirit. And so however you understand that in your own spiritual and religious journey, I think we have a sense of what she means. And so I think it's useful. She invited us to consider which well we most often come to or we most easily refer to in those moments when we need to fill our well. So for you, it might be going to others, or maybe it's turning to God, and we do that in all different kinds of ways. It's not at all to suggest that looks like one thing to everybody, or maybe to ourselves. So to think about where we go most habitually, and to think about what we're yearning for. So as we consider those 3 wells, where do we want to go more often? Where do we want to resource more often? And the third is, really considering what's going to be the most helpful, and how can we create habits around sort of rededicating ourselves to one of those wells of love. Because here's the thing about foundation, in my experience, and you can check this out in your own experience. When my foundation is firm, when I sense my own body and my own experience in my body, my own experience in my life, that I am grounded and connected and deeply rooted, I feel freed up to be so much more creative, to entertain new ideas, to be more generative. You know, when I feel like I have enough right here, I feel capable of being more generous, both in ideas and in my capacity to give to others. There's a way in which, when physically speaking, but I think we can understand this on an emotional and energetic level as well, that when my core is engaged, like quite literally, there is that sort of root to rise that we talk about in yoga. There is that root to rise feeling like, I can lift, I can hold a shape. I can hold a pose, even one that's uncomfortable. And again, I don't mean this just physically. I can sustain my energy in a difficult moment when my feet are firmly planted on the ground. So I bless us all just with loving attention this week to nurturing and cultivating our own sense of foundation, because I truly believe that it's from that foundation that we are freed up to give most freely and to be of greatest service. So wishing everyone deep roots, deep sense of the ground beneath our feet, even when the winds blow. And peace. Shalom.